Hello. I am following up on the two videos I made yesterday, and I want to talk about the actual solutions, the actual plans that I have been thinking about for many years in regards to homelessness, all these people that are out there on the streets suffering and with severe mental illnesses, and people who are so dysfunctional that they cannot function on their own anymore. They can basically not survive on their own anymore. I have encountered homeless people myself many times. Some of them are like very aggressive. One time we were hiking on Ballona Creek in Marina del Rey. That was our route to the ocean, from Marina del Rey to the ocean, like I don't know, about a mile or two hike to the ocean along the creek. And we were walking our two Great Danes on the bike path, and we would always go at night because then there were less people. There weren't any bike riders on that bicycle path, or any other people with dogs. So it was nice and peaceful. But there were a couple of occasions where there were homeless people sleeping somewhere out there in the brush. And one time, they would throw their glass bottles down, and then there would be broken glass for an animal to step in, for example, which is extremely unethical and extremely wrong, that there are people out there that are living like this and that are doing things like this, that are completely out of it mentally. And one time, as we were walking back home, coming back from the beach, it was out there in Marina del Rey near Ala Road. There was a homeless man sleeping exactly, completely across the entire bike path, like laid himself out there completely across the bike path, and he looked like he was passed out. So we called the police, and then they came, and we kind of watched a little bit. So what was happening? They shook him up really violently, and then he's like, "What's the matter?" And then we observed the police officers talking to him in a very aggressive and like almost violent way, and very disrespectful. And I guess they're dealing a lot with homeless people that are making their lives hard. And I understand their frustration, but they cannot be letting anger out on homeless people like this. They cannot be letting their entire frustrations out on those people that are just completely mentally ill and helpless and in total despair, and they can't function anymore. And they also can't find any love at all from anyone, not even someone who would give them a hug or something, or hold their hands. And I find that's very tragic. But instead they get chased away everywhere. They get kicked around, they get bullied around. The police officers are even mean to them. So this is not very good. Okay, this is what I observed there. That's not good at all. So one time we came across a homeless man who also on the way back home, who was sleeping there on that bike path, right on the bike path, must have fallen off, or just, I don't know, fell off his bicycle drunk. You know, they're all probably all drinking alcohol. And as we were walking by him, we woke him up and he started to shout at us, real mad that we woke him up. He said, "How dare you wake me up here? This is my home." I said, "Well, this is a public bike path. Anyone can walk here. So this doesn't belong to anyone." And he got real mad at me and he followed me and got real close. It was kind of scary. I said, "If you come any closer, I'm going to call the police." So, and he kept on shouting and shouting and shouting and shouting as he was walking away from us, kept on shouting and shouting. So obviously, all of these people, they are severely mentally ill, and they get no help. You know, they also don't want help. They want to be drinking alcohol. You know, they want to destroy themselves. They're on a mission to self-destruction. And it's like self-flagellation. You know, it's self-abuse. That's what they are doing because they are severely mentally ill. So, and then recently Donald Trump offered to help. You know, it was, I don't know when it was, about half a year ago or something. Donald Trump offered to help. That was before the virus outbreak. So because the homelessness was getting very severe and they didn't know what to do with them, and Donald Trump offered to help and came up with a real solution, you know, to free up some space, like community gathering space, like town halls or some other public indoor places that would be good to serve, you know, homeless people coming in, and to give them help, and to create some kind of therapy program there, you know, so that they're no longer on the streets. And so Gavin Newsom was against it. He rejected it. They finally discussed things, and now Governor Newsom is grateful for Donald Trump because Donald Trump offered so much help now, also not only then, but real concrete solutions now in this coronavirus situation, that Governor Newsom finally saw that, you know, he could not look past the fact that Donald Trump really cares, and that also the other plan for helping the homeless people that absolutely comes from well-meaning and wanting to help. You know, I hope that Gavin Newsom understands that now. So, but I'm glad that he now understands that Donald Trump cares and is really concerned about the well-being of all people, everyone, homeless people too, you know. So now, but now is the conflict here. I guess I make two parts for this too, because it's just, there's so much to talk about. I don't even know how to cover all of this. But the conflict happens now, and only again, the obstacle in this situation is in Governor Newsom's brain. And I'm not putting him down or anything, you know. I'm trying to bring this across, you know, to everyone, to understand where these obstacles come from now. With the situation where when the resistance comes in people to listen to real concrete solutions to this. The resistance comes from religion again, when the religion says, oh, we can't do this, that goes against human rights, we can't be rounding up the homeless people and forcing some kind of therapy on them. They are suffering, they are smashing glass bottles, they are hurting other living beings. Some of them are abusive, some of them rape women out there. Okay, and then Governor Newsom or other people will say, oh, that goes against human rights, we can't be rounding them up. They need to be rounded up. That's the only decent, safe, community protecting solution, to round them up, that not in the way the cops treated that homeless man on the bike path, but to treat them gently and fairly and nice and with respect, but they have to, if they are in resistance, they have to coach them, and they have to, if they resist, they have to be forced. They have to be rounded up gently but firmly, and they need to be brought into institutions, some kind of space that is freed for them, where they can receive actual medical treatment, where they can see psychologists and social workers, where they're being evaluated, for their mental illness, and now for in regards to the virus situation, where they can give them treatments of some sort. The treatment thing, that's yet another whole subject that covers an entire hour. So I can't get into this in detail right now. I recommend holistic treatment. But the medical industry has both feet and hands in the government and in every institution, that they will be pushing their modalities and their treatment and their medication on us and on the government. So that's a real serious problem in itself, and that needs to be addressed too. And then people that are coming from this human rights kind of mindset state, they have never questioned the pharmaceutical industry. They have never looked at these kind of things from above. They are right immersed in this with their own mind states, and they can only see this, oh, this is, here is something that is written in concrete and that is mandatory, or that is that is the last authority or something, and then they don't question it, and then they think they have to be obeying the medical industry, and they have to use this as if that was the only solution. So that's another subject just for itself. So we must implement holistic healing methods. This is very important, and now with this situation, it will show itself more and more and more and more. It will reveal its truth more and more and more, that the pharmaceutical interventions and medications are not very helpful and are actually making people more toxic than they already are. Okay, so that's not a solution, obviously, and it will show itself. It's called karma, it's cause and effect. And unfortunately, things always have to go very badly wrong first with the old paradigm before people start to recognize that this old path isn't going anywhere. It's just going into hurting people and animals and the earth. So this is not going anywhere. But people will be shaken up if they don't listen to a holistic practitioner or herbalist like myself. Then they will be shaken up by the consequences of their own actions. This is happening right now at this moment, so I'm going to make part 2 for this. Okay.